Good morning, everyone, and today it's update day. So every time Unreal Engine releases a new version, in this case it's Unreal version 5.7, as FAB creators, we have to update everything that we've done. So it's of course going to create a huge queue because everybody in the whole world is going to send in their stuff at exactly this moment. So it will take some time before it gets through the process. But better sooner than later it has to be done. So I'm gonna do this now, and I thought I'll take you through the process. It's normally not too bad of a process. It's usually just a matter of opening up a copy of this in the new version, go from 5.6 to 5.7, save it out, and then upload it to the server. So here we are looking at my first Unreal Engine project that I made. It's scans from Iceland. I found a nice riverbed there, a canyon, and I decided to do some drone scanning for the cliffs here and a lot of scanning on the riverbeds and these things here. And it's been out for quite some time. Like I said, it's the first one I did, and now we're going to update it to Unreal 5.7. And what I found immediately is that it's all looking really good. Now this is very different from what it was in 5.6. If you look at the release from 5.6, you see that they only made a 5.6.1 and then they jumped directly to 5.7 because 5.6 was kind of a failure. I got a lot of errors and I actually never opened it after the first time I used it because it couldn't handle volumes and there was a lot of flickering in the the lumen seemed to be a bit broken and all kinds of stuff. So I guess they just scrapped the 5.7 and just went straight for, or they scrapped the 5.6 and went straight for the 5.7. So there are a few things that are new, but not as new as you might think. For me, it's of course interesting to do the new Nanite foliage. So I did take a look at that, and it is super promising, but it's not an official release yet. So let's quickly look at that and see what it looks like. I got some, let's see here, this one for instance. So how it works is, if I open this up, let's maximize. Here we go, got a little tree here. So this one we can turn into voxels. So the new thing is that it's Nanite voxels. So a voxel is a volume pixel. It's what I use in 3D Coat when I'm sculpting, and it can be absolutely fantastic. But it works best from mid-ground and back, so that's why it's going to still use this classic style of a mesh, and then it's going to flip over to be a voxel mesh once it gets a little bit further into the background. Because if you get too close, you're going to see all the little cubes in it. Might still look good, but you need a lot of cubes in order to pull it off. So this works best for close-up, and the voxels are then going to work good for distance. So if you check your settings here, what is new here is this one here called Shape Preservation. So it's still set to preserve area. So this is what I used before. It used to be up here, just a tick box, but now it's moved down here. And you've got lots of options as well. So preserve area, it was the old way where it tries to not make it, when you go further away, it tries to optimize, remove triangles, etc. And then what would happen is you could get quite a lot of popping. So if you don't have a preserve area clicked in, the leaves will eventually disappear just right around here. But now they have the voxelize. So let's see what this one would look like with none. Sometimes it still looks okay. And sometimes you can get the whole thing to just disappear. So even here, it's not too bad. But it could be, it's hard to say. Sometimes all the leaves just disappear, and that's why you use the preserve area. Now, if I want to use the voxelize, click it in, I will get a warning. Voxels are not enabled for the project, and therefore the mesh will not render as voxels. Enable Nanite foliage in the project settings to enable support. So this is what is going on now. It's an experimental feature, so I can't really embed it in my project as it is now, because these projects are also made as an asset pack. That means I don't save the config file. You have to use your own config file, and all of these settings here will be stored in the config file. So that means that it won't be applied. You probably get some errors if I try to change this. However, I have my free map, and that one is saved as a complete project. So there you will get the config file. So I'm going to try that as well. But before I go out of this, I'll show you just, if I go to project settings, what you need to do to get it working. If you type in Nanite here at the top, you will go to Nanite foliage, and you can see it clearly says experimental here, and just click that in, do a restart, and then you can use this. And I have tried it, and it looks pretty cool. It's probably faster as well, which I'm hoping for, but definitely you get almost zero popping. But let's take a closer look at it. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. So I got all my projects here, but I'm not going to click them from this place. I need to go to this, launch the 5.7. So we do that. So if we launch the 5.7 that we have here, once it's finished loading, you will get a little bit of a different interface. You get all your projects here, and you can expand them to see all your projects if you have a lot. So now I thought I'd update the Midgarder free. But I'm actually going to use the 5.5 because, like I said, I wasn't happy with the 5.6. So we go from 5.5 up to 5.7. So all you get to do is double click it, and then it's going to say this project was made with a different version of the Unreal Engine, and you're going to choose open a copy. Here we have it, and you can see it's quite the golden light. So this one I'm gonna republish this as a 5.7, and I'm gonna try to get these voxelized as well for the pack, and I might change the lighting a little bit. So this is my experimental pack that I give out for free. So if you go into the FAB store and you find this pack, I put a link in the description. You get all of this that you can use for your own projects. So there's quite a few stuff, and this is one of those maps. It changes all the time. So whatever you get now might not be the same that you get the next time you try it out. And it's like an experimental map, and it's just thrown a few things in there, and also so you can look at what the quality is of all the assets. But yeah, here we are. Let's see where we're at. Let's hit the play button and see. So now what you've got to do is we've got to check that everything is actually working. And here it seems like got a problem already. So I hope this is not something that's been around. You see I can't move. I'm trying my WASD keys here. But this means that there's something wrong. So I need to fix that, and I know what it is. This sometimes happens. So I go into my project settings, and I need to check the maps and modes. You can see here default game mode is for some reason now set to none, which should be blueprint first person game mode. So if I click that in, it should now be working fine. So for some reason that connection was lost, which it wasn't in my other maps. So something has happened, and that means I probably need to go back and check the other versions of this. Maybe it's also been broken. But usually all of this stuff is like thoroughly checked before I publish it. But Unreal is Unreal, and a lot of things can happen. So that's why I also urge you, if you do use these assets and notice something is wrong, before complaining to anybody else, just drop me a comment in the YouTube channel, and I'll take a look at it. Because everything can happen once it's published. There can be lots of stuff going on, and it's not necessarily that it was intentional. So a comment in the YouTube channel, and I'll take a look at it and see what's going on. And this is just one of those things that seems to happen every now and then. It drops the connection there. And now it's working fine. So I think there is nothing wrong. So this is much better than the 5.6 version, where I would just have flickering. This volumetrics here were flickering like crazy before. And right off the bat, you can see there is quite a bit of boiling in this is the lumen artifacts. It is what it is. I mean, it's not nice, but was hoping that could be better. And maybe it can be better because it's only, the boiling is only on foliage. So let's get to it. Let's convert these to voxel meshes and see what it looks like. And then I'll show you the whole publish process after that as well. Well, let's take a look at this tree first and see if we can't voxelize it. Let's go out a bit. So it's still in preserve area. So let's see what happens if we put it to voxelize. And now I get that warning that I need to get into my preferences. Or type in Nanite, and we go to the Nanite foliage experimental and put that on and accept the restart now. It has started back up now, and I put it on to voxelize. As you can see, I still think it sizzles a bit. Maybe it is more stable. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn all of the trees to voxelized, and all the foliage and everything is going to be in voxelized mode, and we see what that looks like. I changed everything into voxel mode, and I do think it looks a bit more stable. It's really hard to judge, but everywhere here it's looking quite nice, I think. Now I have changed the lighting here a bit, and I also changed a little bit on the volumes. So there is something that's happened in the last two versions of Unreal where the volumes are not working quite as good as they used to. So if I turn these off, you can see it's a lot better. But if I turn it on, I get a huge amount of problems. And I did not have that in version 5.5, not to this degree. So that is a bit annoying. Maybe some more hot fixes there. It's not as bad as it was in 5.6 though. Then the volumes were pretty much unusable. Now you could maybe argue that you could use them, but yeah, I don't know. The volumetrics need a slight improvement. But I'm going to go with this lighting instead, just to reveal a bit more. And I think maybe it looks a little bit more pleasing like this. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to package this up and publish it to the FAB store. So if you quickly go to your Unreal Engine projects and you find the project you're working on, this is one, Miguel Free 5.7. So before unpacking it, I want to just clean it up just a little bit to get rid of things. So for instance, in autosaves, there is no need to bring all of these folders in here. So I'm just going to hit on autosaves. I'm just going to delete that. And then you can check through the other ones if there are anything that could be like crash reports, etc. Let's see, I don't think there's anything there. Crashes. You don't need to send crash reports, because this means that anybody who's downloading this are gonna get these things as well. So we have to get rid of that. And logs, of course, you don't need those. Shader debug info. You can just get rid of all of that. Now this doesn't necessarily take up that much space, but it's still good to get rid of. That's fine. Fine to have. Yeah, this has got to be. It's too much. So we go up. Now we check here, intermediate. Here you will have nothing. This here. So you get this is virtual textures folder, or virtual geometry as well. So this one we will remove because this one is quite big. It's almost half a gigabyte. So just remove the whole thing. This will be rebuilt as soon as you open up the project. But that's pretty much it. Here you have some. I could remove myself as a developer there, but now it should be pretty clean. Now there might be other things in the Unreal project that you need to remove. I know, for instance, you need to remove the plugin. There's a modeling plugin that you need to remove, so you need to keep it clean from plugins. So this is really hard to know which ones to remove, but usually they will send it back to you, and sometimes they have a list where they explain which one you need to remove, and sometimes just say remove unnecessary plugins, and then you have to guess after that. But since this is not the first time, it's only if there's something introduced in the 5.7 version that's a new thing that I don't know of, but I'm sure they're going to tell me. Then I can do that. I can then I have to remove that after I sent this in. So the checks are pretty rigorous when it comes to Unreal Engine projects. They check it through completely, unlike if you just send in a model, an FBX model or something like that. So let's just do a zip here. Compress the zip. And we wait for that. After that, I'm just going to start it up and see that nothing is wrong, that it starts correctly as well. It's done. Let's just quickly see if it's still working. So I'm just going to start it up. And here we are. It seems to be working okay. Let's just hit the play button so nothing got broken there. All right, that means I can ship the zipped file that I just zipped. So now what you have to do is upload it to the FAB store. And there are a couple of ways you can do this. You can use your Google Drives, your Dropbox, etc., that kind of thing. It's going to be a bit slow. And if you're not paying for storage, times like these where I have to upload many packages, it can take quite a long time because I have to wait for a couple of days. And then I have to upload another one and another one. So you need storage. So what I did is I went out and bought a NAS. So I got a Ugreen NAS specifically for this kind of thing. So if I navigate to where I put it, I have a transfer folder here. I can just go to the FAB. And there I have the Midgarder Free 5.7 zip. So I only have to do a share. And yeah, I can give them a week and a password like so and click OK. And now I can copy this, copy link and password is good. But I keep this up until we go into FAB, so we can put this in as well and the link. So let's go ahead. And here are my FAB listings. So let's just find this, Midgarder Free, click on that. And this is the interface I have to work with. So everything here stays. I can put in a change log there if I want, but I go to the Unreal Engine and I can now create a new version. And here I will put in the version title. It's and here I'm going to put in the link. So that should be like so, not the password, and okay, like so. That is the link. And it's for 5.7. Okay. And it's for Windows. And here it's going to put in the password here. Word. Okay. So let's see here. This should all be good. 5.7, Windows. All right, let's click confirm and see what it says here. So this should be the one here. Always worth double checking these things before I submit it. So actually I don't really have to do anything else here except now hit submit for review and we see what it does. And automatic publication, we'll publish a listing as soon as it passes review. I think that's okay. And confirm. And as I said, since now everybody is uploading all of their stuff, like right now, it's going to take a couple of days, maybe even more than 1 to 2 business days, but I'm pretty sure they're keeping quite busy. So I just got to wait and see what they say, if they publish it or not, or else they send me mail where I have to do some changes. But that's it for now. So this is how you update all your stuff. And yeah. So I hope to see you around soon for some more tutorials and stuff. This was just a quick little show around how to get going whenever there is a new version released of Unreal Engine. You've got to go through all of this stuff. Not too bad though, but yeah. All right. Until next time. Cheers.